This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is
the one that everybody wants, me.
Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania. Claymore!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. This is my iron. You're going to acknowledge me.
Well, here we are, SummerSlam 2025, and we've got a lot to get through. We've got 2 nights of wrestling, believe it or not. Yes, 2 nights of SummerSlam for the first time ever. We'll see if that's a trend that continues. I would imagine that it is something that's going to continue in the years to come, and we'll see how we feel. If we've been through WrestleMania a few years of doing this, I don't think it's going to be much different, and that's fine. I mean, it takes up your whole weekend, but it's kind of cool because by the time Saturday's over, you're thinking to yourself, oh, well, hey, we've still got a whole nother night. It can be a little bit exhausting, but if you're a wrestling fan, I think this is going to be a formula that ultimately is going to be successful. So let's dive into it. We're going to give our predictions. On the back end, we will hear from some listeners on what they think is going to happen as well. Kind of a small mailbag session at the end of this. So let's dive in because there are so many matches here. And we'll do that. But one thing right now I just want to mention I didn't talk about at all, and it's just a quick thing, is we have Roman Reigns' shoes being stolen. I don't care. I mean, I don't care about that. It doesn't. If someone wants to steal Roman Reigns' shoes, it doesn't bother me. I mean, we saw what happened on Raw. I don't care. This doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not a big shoe guy. I don't care if they're $10,000 a piece. I just don't care. So that's my answer. But let's go into it. And we'll start, obviously, with night 1. I don't know in what order this will be on the show, but this is from what I'm reading, this is from CBS Sports. It sounds like it's plausible that this is the order in which the matches could actually be laid out. But here we go. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. And this matchup has been weird. This program has been weird. Up and down. I don't think Karrion Kross has had a stellar match yet. Sami Zayn has been primarily carrying the load inside the ring. That being said, it's nice to see Karrion Kross getting some actual consistent on-air time, even if this whole thing is just about making sure that the other one says the other one was right. Like, that's the whole thing here. It's kind of funny, but it's a good thing for Karrion Kross, who had some momentum going into WrestleMania because of the promo he cut and then lost it. And now it seems like maybe they're going to see what he's got, see if the fans stick with him. And it's time for Karrion Kross. I mean, he needs to have an outstanding performance here in order to go to the next level. And there's no better person to have on the other side of the ring than Sami Zayn to do that. So who do I think is going to win here? I mean, I have to say Sami Zayn. I still have to say Sami Zayn, because this program needs to be over. But I don't know. Sami Zayn could win straight up. I wouldn't be surprised if he has inadvertent help somehow, but this seems to be a one-on-one program with no real outside entities. I really do think that Sami Zayn is going to win, and if he wins just straight up, then he wins straight up. But I think the most important thing, as I said, for Karrion is to have an outstanding match, the best match of his career. No pressure. I don't mean to you don't have to have a 5-star classic, but one that's memorable, one that you can hang your hat on and say, hey, Karrion lost, but in a hell of an effort, he lost. And it can move him to that next level to work with the next level of talent consistently. And it's going to be interesting to see also how the crowd reacts to him just throughout the match. I think it'll be 12, 15 minutes tops, probably 12, 13 minutes. And ultimately, Sami Zayn coming out on top. And the other reason I think Sami's going to win is because they have been constantly talking about how Sami Zayn is not going to ever be world champion, and the baby faces are defending him, saying, yes, you will, and the heels are saying, no, you're not, and so that story needs to continue. You can't have Sami Zayn at this point in that story that they're seemingly building to, having him lose to Karrion Kross. Wouldn't really make a ton of sense. Alrighty. The next is, let's see, what do I think is actually going to be next? Probably the Women's Tag Team Championships. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. This one, to me, I mean, it's the women's tag team championships, so it doesn't get much less interesting the way that WWE's presented them anyway. No disrespect to any of the women in the ring here. All four are very, very good, future Hall of Famers, at least 2 out of the 4 right now. And right now you have a team in Judgment Day of Raquel and Roxanne that are still trying to find their way with Liv Morgan being gone. What if Liv Morgan makes a surprise appearance here? It's not out of the question. I know Liv Morgan isn't due back for a little while, but has anyone thought about this? Maybe Liv somehow makes her presence felt, costing Raquel the championships. I mean, perhaps. What's the beef? Well, she has beef with Roxanne. So she didn't trust Roxanne. Roxanne has been kind of warming up to Dom and trying to interfere, and then Liv gets hurt. It's possible. That said, do I think Liv is going to come back? No, but it's on the universe of possibilities, and I think Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair probably win here. I think they win, and I think the crowd will love it. I don't think Alexa and Charlotte will have a long run with it, but I think both Alexa and Charlotte are in a place right now where they found a weird friendship that they say isn't a friendship, and they both don't have much else going on at the moment anyway. And the fans have taken to Charlotte also being in this tag team. I would say Alexa and Charlotte are probably going to win here. In fact, I would say they're heavy favorites to win. I don't think they'll have a long run because they are both inherently single stars, but a couple of months, yeah. And then have them lose it so in October, November at the very latest, and then they go on their way. But it's a good time to strike with both women here. Getting some momentum, some chemistry together. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair become new women's tag team champions. Alrighty. What's next? Probably Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Drew McIntyre is going to make it, by the way. All of the talk about his passport and being stuck in Scotland or overseas or wherever he is nonsense. He revealed it on X earlier, and Logan Paul showed up, and it's all a story. So it got some of us to believe that it was true. I mean, there were times where I did believe it was true as well, but it looks like Drew McIntyre is going to make it. It's a story. He'll be there. So I expect Randy Orton to be euphoric, as he always is, for some bizarre reason about Jelly Roll. He'll have some moments in the match, but Randy Orton is certainly going to carry the weight of this match on his back. And I expect Logan Paul to get some shots in on Jelly Roll, but Jelly Roll ultimately looking good here. What do I think is going to happen? Probably Randy Orton RKOing Drew McIntyre. Well, let me put it this way. Logan Paul is going to take the pinfall. Jelly Roll is very likely to get the actual pin on Logan Paul. I think that they want to make Jelly Roll look good. Jelly Roll has lost a ton of weight and put in a ton of work, and I can appreciate that, and I respect that, and that's, to me, very important as a fan. Why Randy Orton is so obsessed with Jelly Roll, he's overselling Jelly Roll to the point of it's just gross. Randy Orton is a mega star in wrestling, and he's starstruck with Jelly Roll. It's infuriating, but I mean, he's trying to put over a celebrity. I understand he's doing it for the company, but I expect Jelly Roll to look good. Better than most expect. We saw a little bit of what he could do with the back elbow and the slam that he did. He saw a couple of okay punches. Logan Paul, though, is light years ahead of him in terms of ability, in terms of what the fans know he's capable of versus Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll here I don't think is going to make it a regular appearance on WWE. He's got his own music career. I don't need to see Jelly Roll in the ring at all ever again after this. It's just your typical celebrity crossover event that they're trying to get more eyeballs on this show, and I get that they're a business, but I don't expect this to be a great match. Although I will say there'll be moments with Jelly Roll. Randy Orton and Logan Paul and McIntyre can all put on a show. It's just Jelly Roll that's going to drag them all down, and that's to be expected. It's not a hit on Jelly Roll. He's not even in the same universe of ability of all three of these men. So They have to work around Jelly Roll's limitations and weaknesses, which is pretty much almost everything, and make him look like $1 million. I do want to see Drew McIntyre Claymore Jelly Roll. I need to see that. It'll make me very happy inside. But I expect Randy Orton and Jelly Roll to win. Alrighty, let's get to Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. I know this is not going to be the main event, but there's definitely, a case to be made that this could be. And this program has been one that I know Roman Reigns has been reportedly backstage not happy about. He wanted his own singles match on SummerSlam, but they got a tag team match, and that's okay. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, with their bloodline connection from the last 5 years, certainly makes sense to be put together. And Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed also together, trying to build momentum. This is actually a tough one to call. Roman Reigns has recently returned from his WrestleMania vacation that he takes every year. And Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, over the last couple of days, week I say, has really gotten a lot of heat with the destruction of Roman Reigns and Jey Uso on Raw. Braun Breaker has broken out on the microphone. It's been a great week for Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And if you look at the typical rule of thumb where if the heels get the advantage heading into the PLE or pay-per-view, usually they'll lose on the PLE. But in this case, this is not easy to say, because Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are the stars of tomorrow. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are the stars of today. If you have Roman and Jey just flat out beat Braun and Bronson, it looks like it may set them back a little bit. So I fully expect this to be an awesome match. You talk about ability, speed, power. It's all here. I mean, this is going to be awesome. Braun Breaker will have a hell of a night, as he always does. And look out for Bronson Reed, too. Bronson Reed is getting a little bit of the shadow of Braun Breaker on him, but it could be time for Bronson Reed to break out, too. So, who do I think is going to win, though? Man, this is tough. I could see Seth Rollins coming in here. Could, but I doubt it. We'll get to him, though, in the main event, if you know what I'm getting at here. So, no Seth here. Could we have a Brock Lesnar deal? We could, but I don't think so. Right now, I think it's a straight up nobody else interferes. And I have to go with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, but on the back end, the heels get their heat back. So Roman Reigns and Jey Uso maybe spear Bronson Reed. Braun Breaker is not going to be the one taking the pinfall if they lose. There's going to be, what's the over-under on spears? 10 in this match? You have 3 guys who use the spear as their finish. The only one you're missing is Goldberg. If Goldberg was in there with Braun Breaker, if it was Braun Breaker and Goldberg versus Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, it'd be wild. But you have 3 of the guys in wrestling right now using spears as their finish. I would say the spear total is going to be 10. Dare I say? I don't mean that to be, it's probably realistic. But Roman Reigns and Jey Uso probably lose, but I'm putting this at like a 51-49% chance. This is a really tough one. All right, women's tag team. I already said that. Let's look at the women's championship match. Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. This one to me is a slam dunk unless they want to turn Jade Cargill heel. I don't think right now that's the goal. So with that said, I think Tiffany Stratton wins in a match that's going to be okay. Jade has been improving. I still don't have a high bar for her, though. She's had glimpses and glimmers of good moments to really good moments, which her best one by far was still, as I said, at the Elimination Chamber, where she came in and destroyed Naomi. That was the best she's ever looked. And then since then, she's kind of slowly taken steps back and back and back. But Tiffany Stratton right now, I don't think it's ready. I don't think the fans are ready to have Jade crowned as the women's champion. We still have no idea. Can anybody explain who Jade is? Anybody? What's her personality? What's her mission? Okay, she wants to be champion, but who doesn't? That's a default mission. That's just something that everyone has or should have. So that's not new or interesting. To me, Tiffany Stratton has to win this. If Jade wins, part of me wants to see what the crowd's going to do. I think they would completely flat out reject Jade. Jade's going to be booed in this match. And she's going to be booed, I would say 75-25. And that might be kind. Because the fans have taken to Tiffany. They have really from the get-go, even when she was playing a heel. And I think Jade has not endeared herself to the fans because they don't know who she is. They have kind of started to see through her facade of just, look at my body. Look how good I look. And then the fans are going, wow, yeah, it is incredible. Your physique is incredible. But, hey, is there anything else? Like, what else is there? And the fans aren't getting much. Yeah, she's slowly improving in the ring. She'll take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But there's nothing there for the fans to really gravitate to. And I think that if they put Jade in that position of being women's champion, the fans would reject it. So again, that's fine if they want to turn her heel, but if the goal is to keep her babyface and have the torch being passed to Jade, yeah, good luck with that. Alrighty, here we go. Night 1 main event has to be the main event. Gunther versus CM Punk. Whew. This one, this has so many possibilities. I don't even know where to go. You have Gunther and Punk. If it's just them straight up, no wacky inside or outside interference, this is going to be a really good match because they're 2 professionals. I say that a lot, but it's true. Punk has shown that he's more than capable of continuing to be performing at the level he has. He is a older guy that has still somehow found the fountain of youth when it comes to in-ring performance, and I give him all the credit in the world for that. Gunther hasn't even reached his peak yet, and we're still trying to build him and really also do a little bit of repair from the just god-awful decision to have him tap out to Jey Uso at WrestleMania, which is still haunting him. It's a cloud over his head that I don't know if he'll ever wipe away. So that said, and you have Gunther just essentially reclaiming the belt a couple of months ago. So he's on a second run here, kind of doing the WWE did a bit of a pivot there. And you don't think it's going to be to just hand it to Punk, do you? Maybe. I don't even know if the fans would, I think, be excited to see CM Punk as world champion. It's been how many years since CM Punk has held a world championship, or really any championship in WWE since he's been back in November of 23, right? When's the last time? What did CM Punk do since he came back? I mean, he was injured for 9 months, tore his tricep, comes back, has some matches with, Drew McIntyre, a whole slew with Seth Rollins. So this match, here's what I'm going to say. I think Gunther wins. But then I don't know, because the wild card is this weird injury with Seth that still has no update. And I'm about ready to cross the fence. I keep saying that the fans and WWE right now, something's not lining up. I have never seen an injury for a star of this magnitude undiagnosed for this long, ever. So that is now starting to really ring a bell with me. Maybe the WWE is just trying to play with us, but why? There's no need. But I will say Seth Rollins here cashing in. Seth Rollins' injury. If it's not legit and this has all been a setup, which I'm starting to lean towards now, then there is some backlash to that. Again, the fact that the actual legit injuries are going to be overshadowed by, is this real? Because the last time that we thought this is real, they made us believe that it wasn't, and legitimate injuries, and it could get very confusing quickly. I don't think we should ever blend real injury with storyline. I'm not a big fan of that. So if this is indeed a work, and this whole thing's been a work, and Seth Rollins is back, and he's going to cash in, then fine. Make Seth Rollins your world champion. It makes sense. Both Bronson and Braun Breaker are on fire. Paul Heyman has been leading this group very nicely, although this past week was probably his worst week that he's had in maybe his entire career. It was just not good, but we'll give him a pass because it's freaking Paul Heyman. And you have Seth Rollins return, cash in, and boom. Now, you could have CM Punk win, and then Seth Rollins comes in and cashes in. He hates Punk, right? His whole mission in his whole life. Remember when Seth Rollins said, as long as there's a breath in his body, he will not allow CM Punk to be champion. So it's possible that he either costs Punk or CM Punk does win, but he wins for a brief moment and then Seth Rollins cashes in. Or Seth Rollins makes it a triple threat and he cashes in on and then stomps CM Punk and 1, 2, 3. And we all thought Seth Rollins was really injured. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and the Heist of the Century Part 2. Very possible. It seems like all the ducks are lining up for it. So I would say CM Punk is, if there is no Seth Rollins, Gunther probably retains. But if Seth Rollins is going to be there, and I'm leaning towards that slightly, then I think Seth Rollins becomes world champion. All right, night two. Night two, let's talk about it. We have a WWE Tag Team Championship match, the Wyatt Six versus DIY versus the Street Profits versus Fraxium versus Motor City Machine Guns versus Andrade and Rey Fenix. A late addition to the card here, and I would think night two, from what I'm reading on CBS Sports, it says that it's not announced whether those would be on night one or night two, but night two makes sense as it would place 6 matches on each night, which I would agree with. So this match, I mean, it's pretty much everyone in the division in this match. And I would expect probably the Wyatt Six to retain. I think a close second is Motor City Machine Guns, believe it or not. I don't think there's any chance of Andrade and Rey Fenix. Street Profits just lost them, and Fraxium hasn't really gained a ton of momentum yet. And DIY kind of in the same boat. So I would say Motor City Machine Guns are a close second. Wyatt Six, I think, will retain in a TLC match here. Don't forget, TLC, I should have mentioned that. So this will be entertaining as hell. Could absolutely open the show on night two. And I think this is going to be highly entertaining. Bumps, bruises, all the rest that you expect from a tag team, multi-tag team TLC match. It's going to be violent, wild. The things off the ladders. As I mentioned earlier in the week, I'm genuinely concerned for the health and safety of the men in this match. I'm genuinely concerned. I mean that in the most complimentary way. Not that they're going to be unsafe purposefully, but I mean, you inherently absorb more risk by doing this type of match. But I think the Wyatt Six retain. All right, Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. Dom probably retains here, but it would be nice to see AJ Styles get a nice championship run, a mid-upper card championship run with the IC belt. But I expect Dominic Mysterio to win here. And even though he's been avoiding AJ Styles, I think that Dom needs a little more time with that belt. I think that despite the fact that the fans have gone back to booing him a bit, I think they're still ready to embrace him. And Dom has been, I would say moderately warm since WrestleMania. Having Liv not there does hurt. Liv is such a part of Dom, and now without her there, not that Dom is dependent on her to survive as a character, but he was part of her and she was part of him in the storyline, and she helped him win, and their backstage antics and all the rest were fun to watch. But Dominic Mysterio can hold his own in the ring, and this is going to be an entertaining match, one that I think is going to end up with Dominic Mysterio retaining. All right, Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa in a steel cage match for the United States Championship. I think Solo retains only because he just got it. That's it. That's the only reason. Jacob Fatu does not need to win this. He has proven himself at this point. Solo, on the other hand, needs a little momentum boost here because he loses every other match that he has. He's very much a 50-50 booked person, or character rather, on the roster right now. They don't seem to be super behind him, but having a belt around his waist can help. And I think Solo Sikoa will win here, probably because of the Tongaloa, some Tonga is going to be interfering, or Tongas, plural, will probably be interfering. Jacob Fatu could certainly have help from Jimmy Uso, but it's not going to make a difference. I think Solo retains because of the the Tongans. Okay, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch and Lyra. Becky Lynch wins. I mean, so far I'm having a lot of retentions here, but we don't need Lyra Valkyria winning because we're done with this program. And I think as long as Becky Lynch holds that championship, Lyra can no longer challenge her, which I think the fans at this point are fine with. Lyra did not have a good week this past week on Raw. Her little dance jig that she did was bad. Her promo wasn't good. The fans booed the segment generally. Becky Lynch, I think, and her, they do have chemistry, and this should be a really fun match from a physical standpoint, but the fans aren't into this story anymore. They left it behind a month ago, and right now you're going to have Becky Lynch retain, and she should. I don't mean, there's really not much more to say about this. And so, alrighty. We then have Naomi versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. This is going to be fun. I mean, this is going to be, the quality of this match is going to be through the roof. I expect Naomi to again retain. Boy, I'm going for a Naomi retention. I don't think Rhea Ripley needs to have the belt. Io Sky doesn't need it. She just dropped it. Naomi just cashed in. Again, a Naomi retention makes sense here. Despite the fact that you could make a case for Rhea Ripley and a strong one, Rhea is at the point in her career she doesn't need the belt, and she has achieved that level of success so early on. And that's a compliment to her. She doesn't need the championship, but she wants it, and she always wants it. And as a emailer pointed out earlier last week, every women's championship match since WrestleMania has involved Rhea Ripley in some way. So I think that Naomi retaining would make sense. Having somebody interfere to screw Rhea Ripley would be good to get her off the women's championship trail and have Rhea involved in something that doesn't involve the championship. That would be a good thing for her. But hey, what do I know? The fans continue to cheer her. She's the top woman in the entire company. And Io Sky, I think, is, again, there's no chance of her because of the fact that she just lost it. Naomi, I want to see what this run can do. I think there is certainly gas left in the tank when it comes to Naomi and her run and what it looks like and what she can do with it. I don't think it'd be fair to have her drop it this quickly. So unfortunately, if you guys are looking for a lot of title changes, I don't have a lot for you here. Becky Lynch retains. Naomi retains. Now things get interesting. The Night 2 main event. For the Undisputed Championship, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes in a street fight. That is going to be a key factor here. Not just to make this not just a wrestling match and make it a little bit more brutal and all the rest, but to allow potential interference. Because Lord knows that the obligatory spot in a Undisputed Championship match should be a ref bump. There must be a ref bump, and we will get one. Now, what does that ref bump entail? And what does it mean? And what does it set up? Does it dare? Do I dare go there? Do I dare say Dwayne shows up? It's a possibility. Anybody that says it's not is not paying attention. WWE is very aware of the backlash they received for the Night 2 main event disaster at WrestleMania. And there's no other way to describe it other than an unmitigated disaster and embarrassment. It was embarrassing, especially compared to the previous year's main event with WrestleMania 40 that I know a lot of people absolutely loved. I thought it was okay. It was fun nostalgia, but it didn't make a lot of sense for example, The Undertaker to show up last year. It's like, what does he have to do with anything? And what's his beef with The Rock, from WrestleMania 40? But you go from that main event being critically acclaimed to the absolute complete polar opposite of this year, WrestleMania 41 and Night 2. And I think WWE looks at this as a redo, mulligan. They look at this as hey, how can we make this good? How can we do this the way we maybe should have? And that's part of it. And do they dare have The Rock show up this time? Perhaps. There's a chance. Am I predicting it? No, but I'm still going to be thinking it, and we all are. Even if you are a believer that The Rock's not going to show up, nonsense. Once the match gets to the end and the ref takes a bump, even if the ref doesn't take a bump, he doesn't need to because it's a street fight. when things are down and it looks like maybe John Cena or Cody Rhodes is about to win, you're going to be thinking, is he here? Damn it, is he here maybe? And we're all going to be thinking it. We're human. We're wrestling fans. So that is a possibility. I'm still not going to predict it, but it's in there. So if that doesn't happen, then what happens? Who shows up? Does somebody show up, or is it straight up? And is this a double turn that a lot of us have been talking about and hearing about? Is it going to be a Cody Rhodes turn? Possibly. But here's the ultimate result. I do believe Cody Rhodes wins. They have to, after so many retentions, and a lot of these retentions I talked about with the Women's World Championship, the Women's Intercontinental Championship, the Men's United States Championship, the Women's, not the Women's Tag Team. The Women's Tag Team I actually predicted would have a change there. I think the Undisputed Championship ending the night on a note that is going to be talked about, having Cody Rhodes win makes sense. For a lot of reasons, not just if Dwayne shows up or not, regardless. They're going to make good on WrestleMania, have a better match than WrestleMania. No Travis Scott, for the love of God, unless he's there to be put through a flaming table with thumbtacks underneath. And then you have Cody Rhodes take the belt off of John Cena, who is also retiring in a couple of months. And, well, I shouldn't say a couple, like 4 months, 4.5 months-ish. John Cena is going to be retiring. And then that way you don't have to worry about it anymore. And it also ends John Cena's heel run, which at this point we are all ready for it to be done. It really, Cody Rhodes winning here makes so much sense because it turns John Cena back babyface officially. We get the John Cena that we all know and love for the last few months, and we can say goodbye properly. We have Cody Rhodes back as champion and maybe have a more interesting run. You could do a turn with Cody, but I wouldn't. I honestly, if I'm WWE, I wouldn't do it yet. Fans are expecting it. It's been rumored. I wouldn't do it when the fans are really stirring about it. And it also gives us the fans something to talk about, and the general social media audience, which is pretty much everybody, a chance to talk about something big that happened. You think that they're going to want to have the final moment of WrestleMania or SummerSlam be, hey, yeah, John Cena retained, and that's it. No, they're going to want people buzzing. That's how you get people buzzing. Cody Rhodes wins. Now, how he wins is an interesting question. Does he have someone interfere on his behalf? Maybe. Certainly not going to be Seth Rollins. He's going to be involved in night one if the injury is not legit and it's all been a work. So I think this is going to be a highly entertaining main event, especially compared to the previous iteration at WrestleMania just 4 months ago. So this should be fun. And I expect Cody Rhodes to win. And if The Rock shows up, sure, he shows up. But I'm not counting on it. And if Cody Rhodes just straight up beats John Cena and John Cena is back to being a babyface, hey, bam, we're back to where we should be at, a kind of a homeostasis, and John Cena can ride off nicely into the sunset. It'll just be interesting to see how his character shifts from all the nonsense he's been spewing, all the insults, all the abusive relationship stuff, all the insults to the fans, goes from that to, oh, I guess I was wrong. I mean, I don't think the fans are going to care, but it'll be interesting to see how he navigates that. But Cody Rhodes should win. I think he's a strong favorite. I'd give it like a 75% chance that Cody Rhodes retains. If John Cena retains, I don't see the interest in that. I don't see the need for that. I think we're all ready for Cody Rhodes, or really anyone. Doesn't have to be Cody Rhodes, but like literally anyone. Take the belt off of Cena so we can get back to normal here. We applaud WWE for the heel run. You tried. It didn't work out, but we appreciate it. And we're ready to just say goodbye to John Cena the right way for the next few months. So there you go. There's my SummerSlam Night 1, Night 2 predictions. Let's get quickly to patrons and see what they have to say. And let's see. Let's go to... let's see here. Let's go to John. Or I'm sorry, Tom. He says, my thoughts on Seth Rollins. Good timing, Tom. I do think the injury is legitimate. The ending to Seth and Knight was awkward, and the fact that Knight doesn't have a SummerSlam spot opponent leads me to believe that he was supposed to be Jay's tag team partner while Roman fought Seth, or some combination of that. My suspicions lie in the fact that if this were long-term like an ACL tear, we'd know the timetable by now, and the fact Paul Heyman has said there 3 weeks in a row now that Seth will be out a really, really long time, well, to translate in Paul Heyman speak, that means he won't be out that long. My hunch is he probably sprained his MCL, which is about a 1 to 2 month injury, which means he's probably not far off from being at full strength. Here's my theory. Seth comes out at night 1 with the briefcase. Punk is distracted, think he's going to cash in. Gunther takes advantage, pins Punk, and retains. Seth never cashes in because everyone assumes he's still too hurt. Plus, his main goal isn't to win the title, but to keep Punk from winning it. But night 2, Cody beats Cena, and after the match, Seth Rollins comes out, hits Cody with his crutches, tosses them aside, cashes in, and then pins Cody for the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. Just like Naomi cashes in on the title, Seth cashes in on the title that nobody thought of. I just said that Cody won't probably have to worry about Seth. But you're right. I mean, I have issues. Didn't they say specifically that they have to, whoever wins the briefcase has to cash in on the championships on their brand? I thought that was a thing. Not just implied, but I thought it was explicit. Like it was actually said by the announcers or the GMs, somebody. But if that's not the case, and clearly it's not because Naomi did it, then yeah, I mean, it's another option. Certainly another option, and it looms large if Seth does what you're talking about and he's not injured. So a lot of ifs here. If Seth's not injured, if that's the plan where he comes in just to screw just to screw Punk and then cashes in on night 2, there's a lot of ifs. There's like 3 levels of ifs. Then I'm cool with that. I really have no problem with that. But it does muddy the water here because then where does Seth go? Back to SmackDown? I don't think that's going to happen because it's different with the women's championship. With the men's championship, their top belt at the Undisputed title, it gets a little muddy. You have Seth on Raw doing a nice job with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. You have Naomi, who is not part of a group. She doesn't have to be attached to anybody. She's kind of a lone wolf right now. She transferred to Raw, but what are you going to have all 3 members of the Seth group transfer? It gets weird. So I don't think that'll happen, but I appreciate it because it's certainly possible. Thank you, Tom. Okay, let's talk to Matt. He's been a huge wrestling fan and for decades. He enjoys the podcast, the commentary, and your honest opinion of stories and wrestlers. Most of the time in line with what I'm thinking. Oh, that's good. Hey, it's nice to hear people sometimes agree with me, despite the fact that I certainly piss off a lot of people, and I don't do it purposefully. It just, as you said, I just give it straight. I mean, I give it straight, and if people like it, cool. If they don't, you know. So cool. All right, here we go. The women's tag team champions, the Judgment Day versus Bliss and Flair. You're going to give this one to Bliss and Flair. Okay, yeah, I agreed earlier. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul and Drew. You're going to give the one to Drew and Logan, but after they win, they're going to continue to attack Jelly Roll, and then Orton will come to his aid and clear the ring for the moral victory. Dom will retain, but not fairly. Naomi will retain. Jacob Fatu will win the championship back. Sami Zayn will win, but I think he'll go overboard and hit Cross with the pipe, cementing Cross's point and beginning his heel turn. Interesting. Yeah, that's cool too. I'm fine with whatever the purpose of this match is with Sami Zayn and carrying Cross. If it's just beyond, or it has to be beyond, hey, I want to prove that I'm right. You're going to say I'm right. That's such just a soft reason to fight. But I like that. If it's the point of making a slow heel turn for Sammy, then I'm fine with it too. Sammy hasn't been a heel in quite a while. Gunther will retain, but from interference. My guess is from Lesnar. Ooh. Brock Lesnar, huh? I didn't even mention him. I don't think Brock Lesnar's appearing, but it's possible. If Brock Lesnar appears, he's going to have to be in some kind of... It's going to have to be to come face-to-face with Paul Heyman, I would think. Not to screw Paul Heyman, but just to see the dynamic of having, Brock Lesnar now coming face-to-face, who used to be so close with Heyman, and then there's the Wise Man and Roman Reigns, and then you also have Seth and the Oracle. Paul Heyman has been many things to many people. So it would be a cool kind of moment, but I don't think Lesnar is gonna return. Tiffany Stratton will retain. Let's see. Cody Rhodes will win the belt back with interference. My call is The Rock, and Cena will start to turn babyface while Cody goes heel. Okay. I'm taking Roman Reigns and Jey Uso to win, but if Seth's injury is real and he doesn't show up, I'm calling a Roman Reigns heel turn to side with Paul, Braun, and Bronson, and he turns on Jey after the win. Wow. A lot of heel turns going on for you. I don't think they're ready to turn Roman back heel. I mean, he was heel for what, 5 years? And the fans got it out of their system. I don't think that they're ready to turn it. I mean, they're printing money with Roman Reigns. They are printing cash. They have printing presses in the back. Every time Roman Reigns appears, the machines just start up and print money. The amount of merch he's moving. He's a true needle mover. He is a ratings mover. He's at that point now. So I don't think they're ready to turn him heel. That would be counterproductive to just money. I mean, just their profit margins. I think he would have some effect on that. All right, let's talk to Matt K from Toronto. He says, still listen all the time. You guys doing a great job. Well, thank you. Here we go. 1, Hogan. The building of pro wrestling as a global brand had a lot to do with him, and I respect that. Hulk Hogan, his promotional and mic work was top-notch, and his in-ring skills sucked. Terry Bollea was a scumbag, in my humble opinion. Enough said. Hey, well, look, regardless, and I keep saying this, regardless of what you think about Terry Bollea, the contributions were not Terry Bollea's contributions. That's the man who played the character Hulk Hogan. Who's in the Hall of Fame? Not Terry Bollea. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. He played a character. It may have been an extension of himself, but the brand was Hulk Hogan. There are a lot of bad people who have played really good, memorable characters on TV and in film. Are we supposed to all just negate everything they did because, oh, well, they said something insensitive 20 years ago? No. The fact is, if they had a great performance and they contributed greatly to the industry that they're in, that should supersede any naughty things that they said several years ago. It doesn't mean you are... that you agree with what they said, that you sponsor what they said, that you back up what they said. No, you just are able, like an adult, to separate the two. You're able to separate his professional contributions from his personal flaws. That's it. That's all this is about. And people they don't want to do it. Or they pretend that they don't know how. It doesn't mean that if you support Hulk Hogan in any way, the character Hulk Hogan, remember, then that means that you're racist. Connect the dots for me there. I'd love to know how that all works. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But anybody that thinks that Hulk Hogan did not have major contributions to professional wrestling is just, sorry, you're a moron. I'm not saying you, Matt. I'm saying just whoever has that statement. And I've seen people say that. You're a moron. And I'm saying that in the most PG way that I possibly can on this show. So that's my point, is I can separate the two because I'm an adult. And anybody else that can, it sounds like you can, Matt, and I know a lot of other people that have emailed me can. That's all we need to do. Doesn't mean that that anytime anybody does anything real bad that you need to say, oh, well, let me look at Chris Benoit. Right? Bit of a different scenario there. Yeah, we can recognize the contributions of Chris Benoit, but that's what he did to his family and to himself at the end. It bleeds over. What he did is just, it's so severe and horrible that it's almost impossible to untie the two, and to compliment his professional career. It still feels icky to do, despite the fact that, you can separate professional and personal. This one is so severe that, you can't absolve anything that he did and even talk about him in any positive light, because it's just so horrible and horrific of what he did. So again, yeah, there are parameters here, but if you're talking about somebody saying some naughty words to some people that are pretending to be offended on behalf of other people 20 years ago, hit the bricks. Just race baiting clowns. All right. Again, and some people, oh, he's racist. Really? Just whatever you want to believe, you believe. It's fine. I don't care. And nobody should care anymore. It's all just, it's performative. It's performative. Okay. Number 2. I agree with you that Seth Rollins is a work. The lad needed time off, and developing Breakker and Reed has been awesome. Breakker is 100% the future of heels. Both tag team divisions are lukewarm. I mean, that's just by default all the time, Matt. I mean, always. This pairing of Bliss and Flair is great, and I see what they're doing. Champions at SummerSlam for sure. I would concur. Lastly, jobbing Chelsea Green sucks. I love Tiffy Time, and Stephanie Vacour, to me, is the next female star. Finally, Cena as a heel is good, and I like you. I despise CR. Once again, thank you and cheers from Toronto. Go Jays, go. Well, yeah, I don't know about go Jays, go. I'm a Yankees fan, but yeah, it hasn't been a great season for the Yankees in terms of their standards of success. But the Blue Jays, I think the Blue Jays are for real. You guys usually, here's what I know. No one's here to talk baseball, but I will say, since you said go Jays, go. The Blue Jays historically have been a team that gets out to a fast start. They even may be in first place by a couple of games by the All-Star break, and then you're like, all right, yeah, they're going to fall off. And usually you guys fall off a cliff, and you end the season 3rd or 4th in the division, and you're never really a threat. You can win a couple of series. You can be a pest. You're never a pushover team because you usually have a lot of power pitching, power hitting, but you're a pesky team. This year, you guys may be for real, and you very well may win the division. Yeah, but I mean, we're creeping up a little bit. We were back 5 games, 6 games. Now we're back, 3 games. So it's like, it's really anybody's game here. We have 50-some games to go. Anybody's division. There's my baseball analysis for those of you that give a damn. But thanks. All right. Well, I think that'll do it. I don't know if I have anything else here. Let me see if I do. I'll check my voicemails. I don't know if I have. Let's check it. No voicemails. So I'm guessing it's because the day my voicemail and email, my mailbag has been pushed up a day because of SummerSlam, and I'm also traveling tomorrow. So that's also why, which is a little bit different for me on a Friday, but I'll be on X during SummerSlam. I'll also try to pop in the Patreon side of things on Discord if you want to join Discord and join everybody else during the show. It's a great place to go to chat live at patreon.com/WWE podcast. You can go ad free. You can also check us out on YouTube. We are posting videos more than we ever have. And same with our other channel that we do that's about kind of creepy stuff, which is Real Eerie Truth. That's available on Patreon and on YouTube. Creepy stuff, creepy stories, real stuff, from ghosts to cryptids to murders, you name it. So interesting, right? Trying to hit all different walks of life and talk about other interests I have. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoy SummerSlam. I'll try to be back on. No, I will be back on Sunday for sure. If S hits the fan, I will do my best to get a show in, but it's going to be difficult because I'm not going to be at my house. I'm at somebody else's house. All right. So that means I'm going to have to be in a car cutting a show in the middle of the night, which I've done. It's not impossible, but I'll be probably posting some nostalgia shows from years past, which I know some of you enjoy, and I'll be trying to post some other new content if I can, but for sure I will have a massive SummerSlam review by Sunday evening, as I normally would anyway. All right, well, that will do it for me, everybody. I appreciate it, and we'll be chatting in a couple of days. Enjoy SummerSlam, everybody. Go ad-free at patreon.com/WWE podcast and enjoy. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.